Herod didn't care. Just pure evil indeed. Jesus, as an adult, showed his love for babies and for children when he said, "Let those little children come to me and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these." It must have broken his heart to know that such an evil exists, that a madman would put these children to death as they searched for him. And yet, Jesus was also one step ahead of that evil. Herod's goal was to put this newborn king of the Jews to death. His goal was to kill Jesus. And yet, in the end, he was unsuccessful. The soldiers go through the whole town. They kill all these children, but they don't end up killing Jesus. He was already long gone. An angel appeared to Joseph in a dream to tell him to get out of there. In verse 13, when they had gone, an angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream. "Get up," he said, "take the child and his mother and escape to Egypt. Stay there until I tell you, for Herod is going to search for the child to kill him." So he got up, took the child and his mother during the night, and left for Egypt, where he stayed until the death of Herod. Now, we aren't exactly sure where he went in Egypt. Apparently, there were a few cities that had a sizable Jewish population in Egypt. We aren't exactly sure how long he stayed there either. It says that he stayed there long enough for Herod to die. He didn't leave again until Herod had died, but then we also know that by the time he's 12, Jesus and his family, they make a trip down to Jerusalem, as was their custom. So he had been doing that for a few years by the time he's 12. So how long exactly was he there? Where exactly did they go? We don't really know. But what this does show is that a sovereign God is staying one step ahead of evil. Furthermore, it was prophecy that Jesus would flee to Egypt and then come back from there. It was prophecy that Rachel, symbolic of the women of Israel, would weep for her lost children. It was prophecy that the Messiah would grow up in a lowly, despised place like Nazareth. Matthew mentions prophecy. These happened so that the words of the prophets would be fulfilled. Again, God is one step ahead of the evil. Even though there are wicked people who do all these terrible things, who do these terrible evil deeds, God takes those things and he builds them into his plan to save us. A plan that he was not quite ready to reveal yet. That's why God spares Jesus from an early death in Bethlehem. Jesus did come to earth to die for our sins, but not yet. There were still more prophecies to be fulfilled. And so while Jesus was one step ahead of the evil, that doesn't mean that he avoided the evil. No, Jesus goes through the evil. You see, if Jesus would have died right then and there as a toddler, that might not have been enough. I mean, Jesus did come to earth so that he would die, but it was also so that he would live the life that we failed to live. And that would mean resisting the temptations that we failed to resist. That would mean going through the evil. If he would have died then and there as a child, he could have been spared the heartbreaks and tragedies that he experienced later in life. He had to go through the evil that we go through, the temptations, the embarrassment, the loneliness, the human emotions that we feel, and ultimately, he had to experience the evil of the cross.